Recruiting Rock Stars. In this new episode, I am really pleased to have my guest today. His name is Dean DaCosta. And for those who don't know, Dean is like gets around on the conference circuit quite a bit. He's spoken at numerous source cons. He's also been in the biz for 30 plus years. He's amazing. He's got it. He is very unselfish in his sharing. He lives in Seattle, currently working at Lockheed Martin, doing an amazing job as a sourcing lead there. There's a lot of things that Dean can share, and I'm just excited to have him on today. He's very generous to share his time, and you could ask him any question, he'll pick up the phone and help you out. So he's helped me on a few searches before. So I just appreciate him, and he's also a veteran. So we got to give him that credit. Thanks for your service. It's near Veterans Day, so
Yep.
I think it's awesome. Let's talk about, I want to actually, while we're on veterans, let's talk about that. How do you recruit veterans? What do you do to get them excited? I mean, I think that's a fun topic. Let's talk about that.
Sure.
And
It's
how do you
funny.
make them feel included? I think in talent acquisition, I think one of the things is there's a lot of people who don't know how to recruit veterans and how to help with their transferable skills, because there's a lot of them out there that are just amazing human beings and they just need a shot. They need the right job, need the right opportunity, and just helping them navigate that, I think, is fun. Let's talk about that. I think it's one of those topics that deserves to be talked about.
Yeah, I agree. I'm actually doing a presentation at TA Week the end of January about that subject. First of all, you got to want to make the investment. And what I mean by that is simple. It's not just like, oh, they're a veteran. We need a job development. They're a job development. Okay, that's it. No, it's not that simple. First of all, most veterans, when they get out, don't fully understand how what they learned in the military transfers to the civilian world. You asked me what I did. I'm a 6th November. Okay, what's that? Well, we'll explain it to you, but it will be military explaining, not necessarily how it equates to the civilian world. So you need
Exactly right.
a recruiter willing to type into a MOS, military occupational specialty, 16 November, where it'll tell you in English, not military, what they do. You need someone that needs to understand that and want to do that, and not just check a box. And story, I'll explain to you why I say all that. When I got out of the military, I put my resume out to the things. Of course, remember this was a long time ago. Fax machines were still a thing back then. Rotary dial phones were still a thing back then. Cell phones were barely a thing back then. And I had someone call me, hey, just letting you know, I'm calling, saw your resume, saw your vet. I'm calling to check a box. Not really interested in you. We're not interested in you. You're going to probably struggle to find a job because no one really wants to hire military because nobody knows what the hell they do. And I was like, well, hello to you too. How is your day going? And then I pretty much said, you can check your box now. Goodbye. I showed no reason to complete the conversation if that's all they wanted. And that happens more than people realize. I got lucky in my first job in that the person who hired me wanted to hire a military person because they liked vets. Now, why? Simple. Vets come out of the military with certain innatable traits that are irrefutable and definitely well wanted within the business world, i.e., honesty, integrity, working hard, always
For
going
sure.
above, always going above and beyond. I mean, think about it for a minute. I got to move that from there to there. Could you stop shelling and firing at me so I can do that? No, you're going to get it done because it needs to get done, bullets flying or not. Loyalty. Military people, statistically speaking, once they get a job in the civilian world, don't move as much as non-military because we're very loyal.
Right.
Um,
They stick around too.
yeah, and so those are all traits that most companies would want. And so then it's just a matter of, can you figure out what they did in the military and how it can transfer over. And I don't just mean just their MOC. That's what's called their primary function, their job, what they get trained on. But there are other things they're going to learn how to do that are different. An example, I became a combat medic.
Cool.
I could very easily become a ambulance driver or a paramedic out here if I wanted to because of it, but I didn't want to. But more importantly, I had that skill. And so you need to learn to ask them beyond just what their MOS was. You need to learn what a DD-214 is, because that basically will tell you what they did. You need to understand there's laws that apply to us. Like, you can get paid, you can train a vet, and the government pays you to train the vet.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's like,
Yep.
okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
And
so, and when you get out of
can
it,
I add one thing I really love about
sure,
vets that
sure,
I love
of
whenever
course.
I work with them? I mean, it's so fun getting a veteran on the phone and just asking them questions about their tour of duty. And the ones who also have innate leadership capability, like if they were an officer, they already have a lot of credibility. I mean, they've been under pressure and they've also delivered. I mean, and they've done the mission. Like the way they speak is so amazing. Like, I just love the leadership. That's the part that really makes me just, humble to be with a veteran. I mean, whenever you talk to them, you gotta just get them to open up and just let them talk. And I think one of the best things you can do as a civilian employer is just let the veteran talk. Let them kind of walk you through what they did. Um, Work carefully with veterans transition offices. They
Hmm.
have free resources to help veterans transition well. The government helps; they can help relocate them. So if you've got a really awesome vet who, even a software engineer or hard to fill skill set, you can put them in that role, and they're gonna be able to relocate. I mean, once they're
Yeah,
transitioning vets, even their spouses, right?
yeah.
That's the other piece.
When you're
So
first getting out of the military, you get one free trip anywhere you go. Normally, you go back to wherever it was you joined, but you can go anywhere else. It doesn't have to be there. And so, if you hire a vet before they actually get out, you don't have to worry about them getting there.
right,
The
and you're
military.
saving money, but you're also getting a really amazing human being that just
Yep,
wants to succeed. And so
yep.
I think that the key for employers, as I've hired vets before, one of the big things, and you can supplement this, but I think they need that support. I mean, if you have a good veterans transition career office within your company, I remember ADP did this really well. They had a diversity um, person that was dedicated, and I don't know, I don't like using the word diversity. I like to use the word belonging. I like that word better because it's a better word. I mean, I know we're trying to help with equity. I know we're trying to do all this, and that's all good stuff. But if you're really trying to get to the heart of the human piece of it, it's just being a good human. I mean, you're taking good care of these folks. And so anyway, the person that was in charge of veteran, kind of overseeing the veteran leadership effort within ADP was so good at was former military, and he was able to work on helping everybody else understand what that meant. And
Right.
just being a good employer for veterans is such a powerful employment branding mechanism.
I
If you're
agree.
a good employer for veterans, they're gonna hire other great veterans, and then they in turn bring great people with them. And so A players attract A players, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, I work for Lockheed Martin, probably the top, veteran. So
yeah,
I get
yeah,
it.
for sure.
Me. The other
My
thing that
dad
they,
worked at Lockheed Martin too, by the way,
well, I didn't know that. That's
and he was
cool.
he was a veteran in the Army, so
That's nice.
in good company.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. The other thing that recruiters need to remember is there's some questions you really can't ask, and that gets people into trouble or nervous. So, example, you now a vet can volunteer it, but you can't ask them if they've got a disability. You can't ask them if they saw
Right.
combat, because if you ask them if they saw combat and they say yes, the assumption can be made that, okay, you're not going to hire them now because they saw combat, and you figure they have a disability or they have PTSD or something, and you're worried about them going postal code from that saying from years ago. So you got to be careful of those. You can't ask them if
Absolutely.
you can't ask them if they can still be deployed.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, you
You
can ask.
can't.
I think you can ask if they've been honorably discharged. I think that's a fair question, isn't it?
No, not really, because there are okay, so you honorably discharged is legit. No, you can't ask that, but because they could have been what's the word? just a general discharge. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, really, truthfully.
Right.
A general discharge can be a lot of reasons. An example, I got a guy I know really well, Purple Heart does it all. He got generally discharged because he had PTSD and he went nuts
Okay.
on somebody, and they couldn't give him the honorable because of it, so they gave him a general. About a year later, he put paperwork and he got the honorable. So
Okay.
you got to be careful. A lot
You
of
got to be
times,
careful how you ask that question.
yeah,
That's fair.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially in the military, because the military, as much as I hate to say it, is a good old boys network, and I've seen the bad side of it as well. There's more good than bad, but there is some bad side. I've seen this guy doesn't like this guy, but this guy's friends with the general, so this guy gets this guy kicked out, and it's not well. But then after you have to fight it, and then he gets his stuff back. I've seen that, but it's not.
Right.
It's very rare. But I mean, you hear about it on the news even.
What's your advice though? What's a good question that you can ask just to, that's fair but not crossing a boundary? What's a good,
well,
like,
it depends on the information you're trying to get from them.
Right. Like
Uh,
for say, kind of a similar question in the civilian world, are you eligible for rehire? Like, is there just, you can ask that question fairly
if they're getting out of
in
the
that way, but
military, a simple thing you can ask, if they're person got ready, are you joining the National Guard or Reserves? Just, and that's just because you need to know, because they have to have their 1 week a year and all that. So you need to know that you can ask.
Yeah.
If they say no, it's no, but that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong. If they say yes, then you know that. It's really a tough thing to ask a veteran about their discharge, because, example, you asked me my discharge. Okay, so you were in 10 years. Yeah, and you're getting out now after 10 years. What's your discharge? Well, here's the problem with that. Number one, the insinuation is you didn't stay 20. What's wrong with you? It's a tough thing to do. It's a really tough question, because you got to be careful of the insinuation. I didn't go 10 years. I went 12. I have PTSD. I'm 100% disabled vet. There's a reason I didn't last 20 years, but I'm not going to tell you I'm a disabled vet. Well, I might, because to me, it doesn't bother me. Because, it's like, okay, we have this diversity thing here. I'm Hispanic. I'm over 50. I'm a disabled veteran. I mean, you want to hit your diversity numbers. I hit most of them, but that's me. Other people, so you got to be careful. It's not an easy question to ask.
I think that's a fair point, because I had been told that you could ask that fairly, but I guess that's not really the right answer.
No, because it's a matter of, okay, you can ask a lot of questions, but if the person doesn't get hired and decides to challenge you, and you have to admit, yeah, I asked them if they have a disability, and they said yes, so we didn't hire them. Yeah, it doesn't look so good.
I see why you're saying that. Yeah, it makes sense.
If there's a pattern of it.
But if you ask careful
now, if they
for fit,
but if they
that's true. But no, if you ask questions that are fair for the job and qualifications wise,
will probably come out.
Yeah.
Example. So here's an example. So I know you're getting out now. How long do you think it will take from when you get out to get reload, if we want to send you here for you to start? Are there any issues that with elongated or shorted? And see what they say. That will tell you a little bit of information, because if they say, well, I can do it in it's a reasonable amount of time, then no problems. If they say it could be a little longer, now you got to want, okay, and you can ask them, is there a reason why that might be longer? And it might be nothing more than, well, I have to get there, and probably what they'll say, because it happened to me, I have to get there, and of course, because I'm disabled, I have to get with the VA and get everything going. So now you know the answer to the question, but you didn't ask if they're disabled. They volunteered it.
Mm-hmm.
If they just say I have to get with the VA, that tells you everything, because guess what? If you're dishonorably discharged, you don't get VA benefit. You don't get anything from the VA. So if they mention the VA, you're good to go. And if it's not dishonorable or low, well, there's nothing really low, but if not anything lower, that means it's either honorable or general. And neither of those things are reasons to not hire somebody. I mean, basically the difference, you know what the difference is, truthfully? Honorable means your company loved you and everything's great. General means they may have been a layoff, or you and your manager just didn't get along. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. Doesn't mean you didn't do a good job. Just means they didn't get along, or they wanted to go in a different direction. It means it doesn't necessarily mean you did something wrong always.
I see.
Sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't.
That's great advice, Dean. I think just being careful around that question is good. Very educational for me, because I think, but if you ask questions that are reasonable, and civilian employment's fair game, right? I mean, if you can ask those questions as you're posing in their background, right? If it's on the resume.
Ask those questions to a point, but even in the civilian world, there are
for sure.
Some questions you got to be careful of.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, do you need any reasonable accommodations? Why would you ask that unless you think they're disabled? And if they're disabled, you know what I mean? You got to be careful. You can't ask someone if they're disabled.
Well, and then they have the right to self-disclose as well. So
right, and
you got to be, you do have to be careful of that for sure. I think the most important question I think you can ask a veteran is what they learned. Like, I think that's a great question, and just see how they respond.
You know what the real best question to ask is? If you had to do it again, would you join still?
Ooh, I love it.
Everything.
It's a great question. Yeah. So good.
Not my wife. I shouldn't take that. So let me take a step back. I have been asked by other people many times who know my life history. If you had to do it over again, is there anything you would do different in my life? Now, you don't know everything about my life. My life has been very tumultuous. I can't say the word very well, but there's a lot of upheavals in my life, from being adopted to a whole bunch of stuff I don't want to get into. And I always tell them one thing, and my answer is always no. I wouldn't do a thing over again, because if I did, that means there's a very large possibility I wouldn't end up with the woman I have as my wife and the kids I have as my kids. See, sometimes people get so caught up in changing things in the past, they don't realize anything they change in the past changes the now. And I wouldn't change anything if it meant I wouldn't have a chance to be with the woman I'm with, my wife. I mean, without her, I couldn't do any of this. She's the hero in this story, not me. That said, but that's a question I like to ask veterans. Hey, if you had to do it again, would you not join? Now, some people will say, no, I'd still join, but I might join the Air Force instead of the Army. Because let's get real, we're eating hot dogs, they're eating filet mignon. There's a difference. But would I still join? Yes, I would still. There's nothing that happened to me in my military career, good, bad, or ugly, that would change me, including all my disabilities, from joining. Because I joined for several reasons. Some patriotic, some personal, some family, knowing that I only was going to have one, I was going to have two kids and hoping one would be a boy, knowing that if I joined, they can't be forced to join because the name has to carry on. I can give permission, but he cannot be forced to join. And if he does join, he can't be put in combat, because if he died, my name dies. That's an old law in the military that not a lot of people realize is still there. Saving Private Ryan is built on that rule. But there's other reasons. Patriotic, I wanted to serve. Two, personal thing got me as far away from my family as humanly possible. And I'm still far away. They're in New York. I'm in Washington. I'm happy. Leave them there. I'm here. Long story. You and I can get into that privately sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I wanted to say that I think is fun about, that I think is really important to kind of, look at for anybody, and especially veterans, that, having a support system in place that allows them, like, you should have a good, EAP, right? You should have the employee assistance program flourishing. You should have a robust business group. If you have several veterans, get them involved in something that they can relate to each other on, so they can support each other in the company, stuff like that.
I was at Microsoft,
that's very important.
When I was at Microsoft, they had a veterans group, and they actually, when you got hired, if you were a veteran, you got assigned as, I don't want to say mentor, because that's not the right word.
Right, a mentor from the group, which is really cool.
Yeah, mentor is not the right word per se, but more like we'll call it a mentor, but that's not.
Or a buddy, like a buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, someone who's already been there, who's navigated. And Lockheed Martin does it too. When I got hired here, I was lucky.
AP did it too. Yeah.
Yeah, the group I was in also included all of the veteran hiring team. So I had them right there, and I actually knew a couple of them anyway. So we were good. But yeah, I mean, that's what you need to do because you got to understand. And some people will say, well, that's a lot of work. It's whatever. But is it really? I mean, think about it. Let's say everybody's got problems and mental health is so important.
Absolutely.
And so many work hours are lost to mental health, people are lost to mental health, money is lost to mental health. Why wouldn't you want to do everything you can to improve mental health? I mean, mental health is huge, especially coming out of COVID. And so veterans are no different
You
than
nailed
anybody
it.
else. You know, COVID,
Veterans are also in that boat too, just like
yeah,
everybody was. Yep.
COVID
So
exasperated
true.
not just my PTSD, but a lot of veterans came out of COVID with their PTSD being exasperated because we get isolated.
That's why the
And
support system is so key. I think, but here's another thing. I mean, maybe you're just getting started in a veteran hiring program. And one of the things to do to begin it is maybe just do service projects, have your HR team come together and serve the veteran community. That's one way to start. Like, for example, there are you know, letter writing programs for those who are already deployed, right? I mean, that's just a small thing, but just think of how powerful that is. That's just
there
one
are
example. There's so
two
many things
things.
you can do.
There are two things I always recommend when you're going to start a veteran hiring program. Two things. Number one, you get buy-in at the top because if you don't get buy-in at the top, it's going to fail. Number
Totally.
two,
I was
you
going to say
hire
that too.
someone to be in charge of it, and this is important. Who's a veteran?
Yes.
You hire
Yes.
someone in charge who
Someone
is
who
a
already knows what they're doing. And
bingo.
knows the community, knows the lingo, knows all of it.
You got those
And
two things,
on
your
top of
program
that,
will
can teach
succeed.
the hiring managers
And the
how to
recruiters
engage
and
and the recruiters and everybody involved, because
yes,
it's so key, because it is its own co-culture in a way, right? It's got
yeah.
a built-in support system. And so when you have
In
someone who,
our own language in some ways.
oh, its own language, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So every program that I've ever seen built that succeeded had those two things. Every program I've ever seen built that failed was missing one of these two things.
Right. You need a veteran to lead it. I totally agree with
Yeah.
that
Even if they're just
wholeheartedly.
program manager and just running it, that's fine.
Yep.
They just
But you
it's just
just need someone who knows the community, right? I mean,
Mhm.
and knows the resources that are out there and how to partner with the government supported resources. I mean, all those things are. It's amazing how much support there is for veterans
You know,
already built in. And
on that point of note, I'm going to share my screen and show you something real quick.
please, yeah.
If I can figure out how to do it in this system window. There we go.
And if you want to just start sharing, we can switch
Yeah,
into that, because I was going to have you share
see
some
what
stuff.
says in honor of our veterans.
Ooh, this is so cool.
This is on my website,
This is awesome,
thesearch30.weebly.com, and
Dean.
this
It's very
entire
cool.
page is nothing but stuff about helping veterans.
Oh, that's
How
awesome.
to post jobs, how to
Look
find
at
jobs,
that.
everything. This is a
So
5-year
cool.
military program I did. This is OFCP questions. This
How to
OFC
be compliant.
hiring laws.
Awesome.
Everything you can imagine is here.
Very
And
good.
so, yeah, so that's there and available for people if they want it. In addition, on the SSAR page, for those of you that don't know, SSAR, Staff Stress and It's a set of 4 pages that I put together that list everything you can imagine for recruiting and sourcing. There's a section for veterans and military on one of these pages. Which one? I don't know. I have
So
to look.
there was one of my favorite things that I have to tease you about is when we were at SourceCon that one year. My favorite tool is Dean DaCosta.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. 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 I have one of those. It's right there.
But it's so true. I mean, you're like encyclopedia.
Now, wait a minute.
And you've done such a service to our community. But look at this. I love that you've put this together. And that's the one thing that another reason I invited Dean on today was to share his website and some of his tools. So just take a look at all this. It's so cool. And it's
So this is the ribbon.
Start.me.
Hey, can you see this? This is the
Oh,
ribbon.
that's cool.
These are the vests for the welcome.
The vests for the welcome.
All of them. So we used to get these
cool.
at all the conferences, and I decided to put them all on a nice vest with my name.
That's cool. I remember those vests. How can I help you? I wore one. I was on the welcome wagon.
Well, we're trying to get a welcome wagon set up for RecFest in next September. So Levy's in charge of it.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, Levy and I are doing a lot of RecFest, if you like. But anyway, There's a section in here on one of the pages about veteran hiring. I would need to look for it. There's so many of these things. Let me just open them all.
Yeah,
See this.
why don't you start sharing some of your tools and some of your favorite?
I will.
And can we pick your brain about OSINT? Can we hear your passion about OSINT?
Of course we can.
Open source. For those who don't know, that means open source intelligence, which is essentially what sourcing is. You're using public resources to find information. So that's what it is.
Recruiters and here you go, military and veterans. It's on page 3 on the left side, and as you can see, there's quite a bit.
Yeah, look at all that. I mean, and how many years has it taken you to put all this together?
I think I started this about 3 years ago, and I updated updated pretty much like this one was just added on the 8th of November of this year. I just added a whole bunch of ChatGPT stuff, I believe today, might have been today. I mean, I do it every day. I try to add something except the weekend. I do take the weekends off. Even I need a break. So, so let's talk about tools. Yeah. This is a tool that I created called Sourcing Links. This is the platinum version, the biggie.
Oh, is this your own? Wow, is this a custom search engine?
No, this is a lot more. So first of all, it's not. I want to be honest. It takes me time. I do all the coding, so this isn't easy. So I do charge a little bit. So there's a free version. There's a silver, which is $20 a month. But if you pay for a year, it's only $200, so you get 2 for free. The gold is $40. The platinum is $50. And the comparisons is there. I mean, the platinum gives you over 1,000 things to do, and then one that's going to jump to almost 1,400. The gold is $738. That will jump to about 1,000. These two will stay the same as is. So like you see, there's differences. So this is the tool, platinum. What it is here is this is search engine. You pop in whatever you want to search one time, populate all, figure out where you want to search.
Oh my gosh! And it searches.
You can
now,
pick.
Are all these they look like all search engines? Some of these I haven't heard of.
They all are. This particular part of it is about search engines.
I know Dogpile, I know Seeker, I know Lycos. Cool. This is
the reason
awesome.
I put this together
I know
is
Bing, I know Yandex, no Excel.
Sometimes Google doesn't give you the answer you want, so maybe one of these others will give you a better answer. That's why. But here's the difference.
That's cool.
You don't have to cut and paste. You don't have to retype.
How did you create that?
A lot of coding. A lot of programming.
Nice.
I saw versions of this tool that were pure OSINT, simple, not exactly the same, but similar. And I thought, you know what, this would be really cool if we had something more recruiting oriented and staffing. So I decided to put one together. So this is for searching. The idea is you save time. I save about an hour and a half a day not having to retype and cut and paste stuff.
Wow, so I'm going to use this now. Holy cow. The sourcinglinks.com.
Yeah, the sourcinglinks.com.
Very cool. Very cool.
This is the email address. You get to validate the email address or find who owns the email address.
Dang, that's
Don't worry about the red thing. That's just my
now, is this your platinum version or is this your free version?
This is the platinum version. Because the other versions are significantly smaller.
Okay.
And you'll see what I mean in a minute. This is to find information about your name. You put in my name. You like my name. We'll use my name only because my name's already in here. You populate all. Open up on 2 people. I am right here. And if you open up, you'll get my email, my phone number, where I live, people related to me, everything. There's emails, everything you want.
Oh my gosh.
And you got all these. So if that one doesn't find it, one of these others will. We're still working on formatting. It's only been out a month.
I can only imagine what mine looks like.
Username
all over the place.
So for those of you that don't know, usernames, human beings are creatures of habit. If we have a username, we tend to use it over and over and over and over and over again.
It's going to be the same on all these other websites.
Yeah, well, just because my Facebook doesn't show my email using *4343 example doesn't mean my YouTube won't. So why not find out where else it's being used and look and see if I have info there, which, by the way, my YouTube does. Telephone numbers. You want to validate if the number's the right number for the right person, or find out if the person calling you is really from Microsoft or from China, which just happened to me the other day. Here you go. Images, basically.
Crazy.
I'll show you how the images thing works later using a different tool. But basically, if you have an image URL, you stick it in here and you can find out where else is the image being used. Let's say you're on LinkedIn, they don't have much, but they have a picture. Copy the image URL, stick it here, do a search, and it'll show you where else that image is being used. That image is probably being used somewhere else. You don't know if they're a real person, see if it's a stock image. You want to anything like that. Document searches, you're going to love these. It's real simple.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to type in resume and Java developer, populate all, and let's see what we get. We get 12,000 people that have a resume that say they're a Java developer. But here's the
All
thing.
right, so
No
so
cutting and pasting.
it's $40 a month for just the platinum, huh?
The
Or what is
platinum-
it?
No, the platinum is $50 a month, but if you buy a year, it's only $500, not 6, so it's $42.50 basically. You get 2 months for free by buying for the year. But look, it's not just PDF. You can print any of these. Oh, you're gonna love we're gonna skip pasting sites. Pasting sites is an online, is basically an online text editor, and you'd be surprised. Well, I'll show you what you can do because this is actually kind of cute. This is gonna take you to a site. And the reason is because I have an agreement with them not to put it in the tool in a different way. So we're going to do this. We're going to put it in Java, gmail.com. Now, wait. Now, this person's talking about Java, and there's their Gmail email address. Well, let's play a game. If they're talking about Java, what do you think they are? A Java person. And there's their email right there.
There it is.
That's why I like this tool. Now let's keep going. Locations. Let's say you only have their address. For some reason, that real name tool couldn't do anything but an address. Well, guess what? If you look in Zillow, on the address, there'll be a phone number for that person that owns it. Business and government. You need to learn more about what you're looking for, right? You want to know more about
it.
Yeah, you do it all from one place. Expedia, pop it in, pick a place to look. Let's see what Open Corporates has on Expedia. Look at all this stuff that Open Corporates has about Expedia. You want to learn more about them? There you go. You want to know if they're doing if they've done or doing layoffs? There you go.
Oh, that's fantastic.
This is where you're going to spend your time sourcing. This is what
I'm going to be an early adopter.
I appreciate that. Look at this. All these searches. And wait till I show you what I'm gonna show. Wait till I get to show you what's coming. Because what's coming is cooler than heck. Like I find the link.
So if you click on that little, click on the Zoom info X-ray real quick, and let's see what, just for fun, let's see what that does. So you click, and it takes you to another spot, and then it feeds you all this.
They're all Java. Everyone's a Java developer. And then
so you basically hacked Zoom Info's own thing.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't like paying. I'm allergic to paying. All right, so I want to show you this. You ready for this? This is LinkedIn.
This is awesome.
We are going to X-ray into LinkedIn and find 15 million Java developers. But look how I did it. Around 10 to at.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, that's not the bad one. Let's see. Where's the other one? Not the symbol.
Dang, it's so fun.
Yeah, well, there's so many here. It's even hard for me to keep. Oh, here we go. Let's find some Java developers who are dumb enough to give me their email address on their LinkedIn. There's one. And it's already there. All you do is type in what you're looking for. What is so funny? And you
well, it's open source, and so you've created this tool, and now you have a means.
You don't have to copy and paste. You don't have to find out how to get the info out of the sites. It's all there. Just put in what you're looking for.
Have you gotten any cease and desist letters yet?
No, because it's all open source. And what's worse or better, once you're in here, you can add more. Oh my God, I don't need 12,000. Let's add Unix. Well, still got 12,000, which doesn't surprise me. Java, come on, Java, Unix, of course you're going to get. Let's add SQL. Still 1,200. They've got that doesn't surprise me. Let's see if we can narrow it down even worse. Let's add in Seattle. Yeah. So what's going on? This is Merlin. It's my ChatGPT. I love this tool. So you can narrow these searches down more and more and more if you want. Like even here with Java, I can narrow it down, put in Seattle, and instead of 1,940, I get 47. And this is just people saying, I am a Java developer. Okay, you want to say you're a Java developer? Let's find out. I'm good. But they're all done. They're all pre-constructed. Now let me show you something really, 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 really cool that I'm very proud of. But I'm going to. So this is my version of the tool that's on my desktop. I test everything here before it goes into the paid tools. So anything you see here that's not in the paid tool will be in the paid tool in Q1, but I'm testing it first. So this is the one I'm going to show you right there. So we're being sneaky. Dean likes being sneaky. This is in LinkedIn. We now know there are 2 million people who are Java developers in LinkedIn who actually are a native or bilingual with Spanish.
Wow,
now,
that's fantastic.
Very simple. The present anchor tells me that's what their current title is. Native and bilingual is the anchor that all LinkedIn profiles that have a native or bilingual in them say it, and I'm saying look for Spanish. Everybody who says they are native or bilingual in a language has this on their LinkedIn profile.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to do it one step further and be really sneaky, which I love doing. Let me see here. How do I want to do this? Okay, I know what I'll do. Let's try Amazon around 10 at. Let's see what happens. I'm a robot. That's what happens. Figures. It was about to. There are 71,000 people who are working at Amazon who are Java developers who have native Spanish.
Wow. That's
now,
crazy.
how at is in the top part of their LinkedIn profile. So I look there for the company. I look down here for the title, and then native bilingual for Spanish. I can do another around and add in a college and do. I can do Seattle around 10 education and look for any college that's in Seattle.
So wait a minute. So I just want to kind of put this in layman's terms. So basically what you're telling the search engine to do with this string is when you say Amazon around 10, you're saying to look at around 10 words or 10 characters.
I'm telling to look for the word at.
Right? Within 10 words
and
of
within
Amazon.
10 words before or after, look for the word. No, I'm saying look for the word at, and 10 words before or after, look for the word Amazon.
Before and after. That's what I thought. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So
Because it also does it in context. So it's pulling up the documents from the web and putting it in the search results, so you know these are valid.
And if you have this little tool right here called Search Link Preview, you can actually look at their profile and see if they're really what you want or not, and go, yeah, no, they're not. Yes, they are, or no, they're not. Whatever you want. Close it. Don't lose anything. And if you have another Chrome extension called WhenX, it'll tell you if you've looked at the profile or not, and when, months ago, weeks ago, whatever. So you don't have to worry about keep looking at the same profiles. You'll know if you looked at them already. It's not there because obviously I haven't looked at it. I just looked at it. So if this is the same one, if I'm signed into WhenX, I may not be, but if I'm signed into WhenX, a little thing will go right there. Will say you looked at it 20 minutes ago, or 10 minutes ago, or date. So I may not be signed in right now, or because I'm sharing screen, it may not. You're frozen, or am I frozen? Yo, you're frozen. Okay, I'm still good. Good. So that's there. But the idea is behind this, and this is going to is that you can search for what you want one time, populate all, and you have over 200 places to start looking.
There we go.
To start looking for people that can fill your job. So I'm going to show you one more that I think is really cool that I know a lot of people don't think of. Oh, here's one. You're going to love this one. Okay,
it's just the bandwidth had a minute there for it was you were sharing so much information. You loaded up the bandwidth.
There you go. So let's look at what I did here. I am doing an X-ray into all.com, wildcard, anything.com. Don't care what kind of .com, just all of them. For resume, CV, or curriculum vitae, I'm minus sample, example, template, job, and jobs for job developers. And guess what I get? I get 116,000 Java developers.
That's awesome.
And as you can see, I have a bunch of them, and I'd control F a lot in here to make sure I go where I want to go to find one, because I can do tech or non-tech in this. So as an example, here's Facebook. These people are Java developers in Facebook. Now the difference is the anchor here is to present, because that's what people who are currently working at a particular place in Facebook says. It's to present. So I have to use it. What's the matter? Too much time?
But no, I'm laughing at where I'm at. I'm getting my tires changed, and so there was a horn that was honking, but I think my noise cancellation canceled it out. So I was like, can you hear it?
So this is custom search engines that are built. I just allow you to stick what you want in one, populate them all, and pick the one you want to search under.
Oh, that's really cool.
Sites and tools are just a list of sites and tools I think you want access to. Extensions are just extensions I think you want. Word lookup. This is where you get to learn what it is you're looking for. I love this for one reason. My favorite place. I need to know about Java. What do I know about Java? Let's see. Let's find out. Give it a minute or two. Let's see. Java. Skills. Programming. Look at all the places. Look at what's it. But here's the biggie. Right there. Synonyms. You know what a synonym is?
Yes.
It's your origin. That's your origin.
Yes.
Right there.
Yes.
I love that part of it. And then salary info, you want to know what they make? There you go. Work email, you want to know the work email format? There you go. Now, the fun part is what's coming. Was I in the right section here? It wants me to sign back in again.
Have you signed up a lot of people so far?
450. It's only been out a month, dude.
I wasn't 450.
No, 50.
50. Okay.
It's only been out a month. I talked to a lot of other tools like Seekouts and all of them, and they said after a month, we didn't have much more. And then it's the holidays. But I was not in platinum. So now let's look at it. I was in gold. Gold is different than platinum, as you're about to see.
Woo.
And that's not what's bad. In platinum is diversity sourcing. There's a diversity sourcing piece. Let me get to it. Let me get it open. There we go. See, and that includes veterans.
That's awesome.
So let's put something in here real quick. Let's just put, I don't want to put that. Let's put in the developer. But spell it right. There we go. Popular. So my son. So this is Contact App. These are people who say they're veterans, Army Reserves right there, and they're developers. Let's find another. Facebook. These people say they're veterans and they are developers. Look, U.S. Army, U.S. Army. So you want to find a veteran? There you go. Veterans. There are even security clearances, and these are custom search engines you have to open and do what you want. So this is all about diversity.
Now, with your packages on your platinum, can you sign up month to month?
Yeah, you can, but I don't. For me, and again, I want to be careful because there's a tool not related to my tool I want to show you guys, show everybody. But yeah, you can sign up month to month. But like I said, that's $40 a month. Well, up here we'll go with $50 a month. 12 months, that's $600. But if you sign up for the whole year, it's only $5, so you save $100. So it's up to you. I don't really care. I shouldn't say I don't care. It's up to you. But if you want to save money, that's the way to go. But if you want to go month to month, that's fine too. Maybe I don't know. I haven't had anybody sign up and leave yet. So once they sign up, they're here. These are Boolean tools that you can download to your to build Boolean tools because you can actually use them. I'll show you. I'm going to use my version because soon this is going to be built into the tool. Very soon, this was going to be built into the tool. Give it a minute bandwidth to where you can make it right there, and then just go over here.
Oh, cool.
And copy.
Oh, nice. It creates your own little string for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So what you do is you can copy that string, come back here to your sourcing piece after you've done your Java developer. Oops, let me do that again. Java developer search, and we're just going to do resumes now.
This is you should be very proud of this, Dean. This is absolutely brilliant stuff, man.
So now I have this over here. Oh God, come on, bandwidth. And I have all this here to find resumes of Java builds. I can now punch in that string I just used and do it and rerun it. And now this is the new results. So you can use that to work with my tool. So, okay, so you got diversity, you got sites, you got Boolean juice extensions, word lookup, which now includes military stuff. So you can use, you want to learn what about military especially? There you go. I added it. I added more salary information here. And then there's a medical and veterinarian sourcing, which can only be done on certain things. The diversity, the military, and the medical and veterinarian and the resources are only in the platinum because they're expensive and I have to update them a lot. And as you can see, there's a lot there for hiring.
Well, this is why they call you the search authority.
I don't know about all that, but all right.
That's why you are self-branded.
Yeah, I try. So I kind of want to show you guys. Oh, I want to show you guys something in particular because this is a Chrome extension, but I have it built into my tool. You ever wonder who does better, Bing or Google? Let's find out.
Ooh, side by side. That's fun.
Yeah, there's a Chrome extension called Doubleshot that does this.
Oh, very cool.
But I managed to find a way to build it into the tool. As long as you have it as a Chrome extension, it will do it right from the tool. Big difference between the left and right in there.
Okay, here's a question.
Sure.
What's your favorite? What are your favorite Chrome extensions? The ones you can't live without. The ones that are absolutely essential. If you were a new recruiter and what would be the ones that you would absolutely think should be a part of the arsenal?
I'm about to show you that. Funny you should say that. It's also funny that you say that because inside here is a place called Resources, which has a whole bunch of information about a list of colleges, my books, veterinary specialties, health specialties, diversity stuff, just info to help make your sources better. And very soon here is going to be a list of my favorite tools. Cool. Let's start with Chrome extension. I'm here just because I'm here. So it's just because this is the easiest place to show what I'm about to show.
By the way, congrats to my good friend Joshua Jones and his new wife. And they just got married, which is awesome. So
Very.
that's what that was.
Yes. So you're on here and all you have is a picture. Well, I know I'd like to see a little more about this picture. So you push this and you open up a tool called Facebook.id, Facebook Check ID. Facebook Check ID is a Chrome extension. That's how I'm using it. And what we're going to do, and it's going to take a few seconds, depending on how many people are ahead of me. I'm first place. Oh, damn, that was good. Usually I'm like sixth and I have to wait a few minutes. So we're going to let that go. Just let it play its game while we do other things.
Ooh, it's pulling in mug shots.
You might be surprised what you pull in. So we're going to go here and we're going to highlight my name. And you see this thing up here, it says search by name. I'm going to open it. This is another Chrome extension. Just wait for it. And it just pulled up my name. And you can look all these places at once for me. And look, very first one.
Well, can you just come up in all the...
Not all of them. There was one that's not. Because
you can be found.
Yeah, there's one that's Facebook, Twitter, but if all you have is a name, this is a quick, easy way to do it. And then, of course, the facial recognition's the other. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So,
oh my goodness, look at that.
90 to 100 is definitely that.
Look at the one down there.
Yeah,
look at these two down here.
You can be replaced. You know that, right?
I'm just kidding. I'm teasing you.
Oh, I know you are. 83 to 89 is a confident match. Anything below 83 is don't worry about.
But all those. You got 1, 2, 3, about 9 matches that are definitely.
Oh no, but look at this picture is found 6 times on the internet. This is 2 times on the internet. This is 1, 1, 2, 2. So it's not just 9 matches. It's how many different pictures, but how many sites are they connected to? Mm-hmm. So now you know that I am on this, and you can go to that one, and you can open it, which is going to get you to my YouTube channel, which, by the way, there's my web address right there. And in here is my email address. So you see how it takes facial recognition and just allows you to do so freaking much. It's just mind-boggling. Even this one down here, this is the lowest ranked one, which technically you shouldn't look at, but it's me. It's just because it's blurred out. They even got me in one where I'm just a part of a picture, and they found me. Facebook IG, love Facebook IG because it just makes life easy. And then the other one that I showed you with this, awesome, because it just makes it simple for me. There you go, done. I know I found more information about me. This person, I'm real. Well, we can debate that, but you know what I'm saying. Just awesome, awesome. Other ones
that's some crazy stuff, man. Mind blowing.
I like this one, ID crawl. Now I have this in my tool. You just punch in a name and let it do its thing. Now, in this case, it didn't come out with a lot, but that's because I put my name in as 2 words. The reason I did that is because a lot of these don't recognize 2-word last names. They'll think Duh is my middle name. My middle name is Duh. My middle name is Anthony, Michael, and John, not Duh, but sometimes. So in this case, it didn't work, even though that one came out. So let's change it to put my name spelled right, and look at that. Boom, 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 and that one's me. And if you come down here, that's me. That, you see what I'm saying? ID crawl is great for finding info. Now, granted, I do have this in my tool as well to use ID crawl, but if you don't want it in my tool, there you go. Another tool I really like, obviously I like Swordfish and I like Numera are my favorite contact finding tools. Plain out and simple. But there are other tools out there that work on like Gmail. Let's get back here and do a Gmail search real quick. Not Gmail, a GitHub search real quick. And then I'll show you this tool. I'm just going to put in Java, populate, and then I'm going to Control F because I do want to look at GitHub so I can get to GitHub search. I'm going to go to users. We'll go to Raghu Share or whatever the heck his name is. And then we're going to come up here and there is a tool that's GitHub email, and there's his email right there.
Wow. Pretty cool.
And it's not listed here, but it is up there. The tool finds what it does is, for those of you that don't know, there's a trick with GitHub that if you get into the repository and their commits, if you add .patch at the end, it shows her email. What this does is do it automatically behind the scenes so you don't have to go through all the trouble of doing it. So that's what it does. So that's one of my favorite tools. Now, some of my tools that are less obvious is this one. I love this custom Chrome extension manager because I get to see all my extensions. I get to turn them on and off easily. I can even create groups to turn all of them on or all of them off. Almost all my LinkedIn oriented extensions are in one group. I can turn them all on and off with one button. And when you compare doing that compared to, okay, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to find the extension area, and then I'm going to open it up, and then I have to find, you get the hint. It takes more time. You're saving time. I love that. I love this one. I have a lot of bookmarks. I want to find a bookmark. It's easier, just type it in and look, all my LinkedIn Orange bookmarks are right there in front of me. I don't have to look for them. I have to search for them. They're right there.
With 100 open tabs, right?
Yeah, well, you know, I have a lot of bookmarks, like I said. So I love that one. Let's see. I'll make sure I hit them all. Obviously, Instant Data Scraper and Data Miner. Those are my main scraping tools. Love both of them. They're easy to use. They're simply, and I just think they're great. This one I like. This is called Quirl, and the reason I like this is for one reason. Dean DaCosta, and let's say that I'm trying to find my email, work email. I'm going to copy all to a clipboard. Now I'm going to show you exactly what this does. And this is not a Chrome extension, but this is an online edit pad, which I love because I can just put stuff there and do this. Oh, we know. Thank you. Look at all the permutations that it came up with for my work email. Well, let me help you out. That one's right. That's my work email. And to further demonstrate, there I am. It pulled me up straight off my work email.
Wow.
So I love that. I love it when I know.
What's that tool?
Oh, it's called Quirl Sherlock Email Finder. I love that tool when I know when I have a reasonable idea what the
domain name is.
Well, domain name, but the naming convention. Like if I think
Okay.
I know what the naming convention is, it's easy. And I love it when I know there's a domain name. Another tool I really like, and I'm going to show you this one real quick, but we're going to get out of here. We're going to sign out because I don't like saying sign in because I don't want Big Brother to see what I'm doing all the time because frankly, they piss me off. Can I say piss me off? Yeah, I guess I can. I just did.
You can.
I just did somehow.
We all know that we have our complaints with LinkedIn.
Keep in mind, this is Merlin. This is a ChatGPT thing explaining to me exactly what I'm doing. I can ask questions and get more info. I love Merlin because it's not intrusive. It's there, but not in my way. I don't have to push a button. I don't have to pay for it. It's free. That said, this tool, GM Plus Email Finder and Email Hunter. I love it. You know why? Because we got this page and look at all the email addresses it found, and I can copy them all. So if I get this down to where I only got 40 people, and I'm like, I like all 40 people, screw it. I'm just going to copy the emails and send them all emails. I don't need the rest of the information. They're going to send me a resume if they're interested.
Yep.
So why waste time? Love that tool. Love, 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 love that tool. I actually have a list. So let me go back and look at my list here. Email permanent. Oh, Name It. Love Name It. Name It is another tool. It's not a Chrome extension. You can access it via my tool, but I'm going to show you it without my tool. Meaning I've already got it's already in my tool to be used. Name it. Where is it? NAMINT. Oh, being stupid. Let's try name. Now I got to find it, of course, because I like pictures. So I tend to always want to have pictures here. You find, you know what? There's an easier way to do this. Much easier way. There it is. Okay, so there's Name It. Now, why do I like Name It so much? Let's put in my name. We're not putting in my first name. We will use my name together. We're going to push go. Now, first thing, it's looking for possible patterns for different phone number, emails, Google Drives, Twitter handles, you know, what my handle might be if I use my name. A lot of people do, vanity, you know, we all. I do have an email address associated with my name. Down here, it's doing the same thing, just giving you different ideas of what my possible naming convention could be. And one of them is right, by the way. Down here, it's doing the same thing, only this, it's searching for emails using the other tools like Ipidus, whatever. Down here, it's all Gravatar. Down here is the email permutations. And I guarantee you 3 of them are right.
So I wanted to, you've shown a lot of cool stuff. One thing I did want to.
Done. Joking. I'm never done, dude. You know me. I always have more.
I know you, yeah. Well, the one thing you showed at SourceCon, like a big map, and it could track where people just.
Yeah, we're not showing that because it's heavy duty OSINT tool, and we're not showing that. But I will, for those that didn't get to see it, I can at least show. Was it SourceCon you said?
Yeah, it was the SourceCon. It was it was a SourceCon presentation you did. When was that? Gosh, it was couple ago. Maybe it was was
2020?
it Dallas? Yeah, I think it was Dallas. Did you show
Oh, so that would have
it?
been recently.
It was you were having fun with your OSINT presentation, and I think you showed this really cool tool where people had gone to the coffee shop. They could track the person where
Yeah,
they've
I know
been.
which one that is. Hang on. I think I have. I'm not gonna do it because it takes a little time and I don't want to do it. But I think Talent
I I just
42.
think it'd be kind of funny for people to see how much information the web can track on them. This is
Yeah, just give me a minute
absolutely
'cause I
insane.
can
I
show
mean
that.
that
I just
that one
gotta
was
find it.
crazy. I think I remember all the sources people were dropping for how crazy that was.
Yeah, just give me a moment. I can find that one. Military OSINT. There we go. Source in 33. Here we go. Okay, this is where I tell you to be afraid. Be very afraid. But we're gonna go through this rather quickly
I
to
just
get to.
thought it would be interesting for you to show this just briefly. Nothing and anything
No,
else you want to close with. We have
yeah.
about 10 minutes, by the way. So
Oh, that's fine. All right, so let's get down to it. We're going to show that one thing. Okay, we're going to show a couple things. This is a tool called Creepy. It's an OSINT tool.
creepy. That's it. I
No,
remember
there's
now.
another one that's worse than
It's
Creepy.
it's because it's
This is
creepy.
this can track every place you've ever tweeted, Facebooked, or there's another one. And as you can see, this particular person is very specific where they like to tweet and Facebook and whatever the other one is they do. I can track you anywhere. Doesn't matter. I'm going to do it. That's not the bad one.
This is pretty
Let's see. Do
scary.
I still have? Oh, do I still have it? Yes, this is the scary one.
It's creepy, right? That I remember that.
Oh, this is a totally different tool. This is a totally different tool. This tool is allowing me to see every single solitary security camera, video camera, anywhere anybody's done a YouTube video, tweeted, whatever, and I can put it in a specific name and just do them. It has every Wi-Fi, every place where there's a Wi-Fi, everything. And like I said, if I really want to, and as you can see, look here, this is a security camera that I've focused in on. You're
I
looking
don't
at
know
the.
if it's showing white right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why? Let me stop sharing and reshare them. Maybe it crapped out a little bit. All right, there we go.
It probably scared the computer.
Got it now?
Oh, there. Oh my God, look at that.
Okay, so think about it. Everywhere there's a Wi-Fi, everywhere somebody.
That's from creepy, right?
No, different tool. Everywhere somebody is Facebooking, YouTubing, whatever else you can do. And this is one of the security cameras that I'm looking at right here.
And this is one person.
No, this is the city. I can narrow it down to one person if I want to. This one is from one camera. This is one camera.
What's the name of the tool?
I'm not willing to say that. I don't want
Is
you
it
guys
that?
to-
Is it that scary? Is it CIA level?
I wouldn't say it's CIA level, but it's not something you want to mess around with too much. But I have access to it. But well, let's just go back. Here's a list of security cameras. This one's right in my hometown. I know exactly where this is now. Keep in mind, this was months ago, but these were live security cameras I'm looking at. I even know where that is.
That's pretty crazy.
This is a tool where I am looking up cloud provider people. I'm looking up companies
that are
using
IP addresses.
and this is companies that are using Azure in my area. Here's one where I'm doing countries US, and here's their IP addresses, and this is Shodan, and I'm looking for cameras. I have their IP address. That means I can actually open up their camera if I really want to.
That's pretty scary stuff.
This is me using a tool called SolarWinds to see who is using the same route, the same internet connection I am with their IP addresses. Because if you're using the same internet connection, the IP address is going to be very similar because you're connected to their thing. And yeah, so I mean, you can do a lot of things. Here's something really cool. This is a tool that allows you to age somebody. So a story. Trying to find information about somebody, and we couldn't. It was for Lockheed. And I said, okay, picture search, nothing was working. I said, okay, no, wait a minute. Let's see if maybe I go back a few years if it matters. So I used this tool to make it look like here's what he would look like at 30. I did it. All of a sudden, I found a picture of him. He coached his little girl's soccer team, and guess what was attached into the page? A list of all the players, including the coach, with phone numbers. So now I have no way to contact him just by searching on a picture making him look younger. Found it. Never would have found it with that picture, but I found it with that picture. So this will take your current picture and you can tell it to make me look like I'm 30, make me look like I'm 50, make me like 20, whatever. And it'll give you a reasonable approximate. At 30 years old, that is pretty darn close to the way I looked at 30. I have a picture when I was 30. And I was in the military, so comparing them was simple. That's pretty darn close.
Pretty crazy, man.
The things you can do out there is quite mind-boggling, and the rest of these are all things I already
tell folks why you don't want to go on the dark web.
Okay, good choice. So first of all, let's look at this picture. Can you see this? I hope you can. You see that 4%? That's where y'all hang out. You see this 96%? That's where you don't want to go. Why? Are you interested in finding out how much it would cost you to buy a 15-year-old blonde-haired girl? Then go there, because that's what you'll find out.
Yeah, all that crazy stuff.
Are you interested in hiring someone to kill somebody? Go there. That's where you'll find. You're interested to find out where the next shipment of guns are coming? Go there. You'll find out.
Yeah, you got to be very careful, because that's where all the spies live. And all
you got to know what you're doing and how to do it. If you don't, you're going to get yourself in trouble. There's ways to do it. I don't even use this computer for it. I have another computer, which has got security up the yin yangs, and I use a rotating VPN, which means my IP address rotates every 5 seconds. So no, you can't catch me. By the time, I got his IP address, boom, oh, too late, it changed.
Yeah, and the reason is because there's really crazy spy-like people that's something out of a Tom Clancy novel. You don't really want to get into the mess.
I mean, there's another version of the tool. You guys up here, you might get away with down here, but you don't want to go below that. And here's the reason. You need a proxy server there, you need a Tor server there, you need a Cloud Shell there, and then you need a polymetric. Let me put it to you this way. To get down here, you would require a way to hack into a 128-bit fail-safe numerical code that changes every 0.2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
This is for those of you that are.
You're starting to get into government level. This is nation to nation crazy stuff.
For those of you that saw,
you don't want to go there.
Yeah, for those of you that saw Avengers: Age of Ultron, Iron Man had to go to the Nexus. That's the
reason I'm having Dean share some of this stuff is we, as recruiters and sourcers and HR people, we focus on the ethical side of this, which is placing people in jobs for the right reasons. And so, all that other stuff is you get into dubious, crazy places when you go into the dark web.
Yeah, it's not really so much ethical or unethical, because there are, everybody assumes this kind of stuff with the word hacking. There are ethical hackers, white hat hackers, and then there are black hat hackers. Let me help you out for those of you that don't know old style Western movies. White hat, good guy. Black hat, bad guy.
Right.
And so there are white hat hackers who don't do this for bad intent and don't go on here and do things for the wrong reason. Example, when I go into that part of the world, I'm usually probably trying to help find a lost kid. Usually trying to help Chicago PD find a lost kid, or I'm trying to help somebody find a lost relative, because I do that to help people.
Right.
If I have to.
Or sometimes you'll help a fellow recruiter with a lead, or a job seeker with a lead to help them.
Yeah, or help someone know if they should open a site or not based on what they're telling me they found and it looked weird. Dean, can you figure it out? And it's easy to figure out. That's the only time I go in there, because I don't want to see. I mean, unfortunately for me, I compartmentalize everything I see and I don't forget much. And sometimes there are things I don't want to see. I really don't want to remember a blonde-haired girl, 15-year-old, for the price, and especially the way she looked, because she looked miserable, and now it's in my head and I can't get rid of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Yeah, it's very, or see other things that you can see in there, or hear.
Yeah, I hear you.
You hear about all these people like planning all these things because they're anarchists. Well, what do you think they're doing it at? That's the dark web. Do you really want to see that crap? I don't. The CIA,
they're black hat.
Yeah, they're bad. The NSA, the CIA, the FBI, that's their job, not mine. My job
is to find
people and information and to help people find people information and stay out of trouble. That's basically that's what my job. I find what others can't find, and I do what I have to do that within reason. I do have ethical standards, so there's certain things I will not do, and legal, of course. And so that's what I do. And because of it, I have to go in some of these places. But I don't go. I try hard. There's 6 levels. I try hard not to go below 3. And usually I don't have to. If I have to go below 3 to help find a lost kid, because Chicago PD, who I help every once in a while, and others, ask me to. Usually I tell them, look, if the information's there, it's below 3, that means you might want to contact the FBI, because odds are they're already on top of it and you just don't know it. Because anything below that, that's where the FBI, CIA, NFC, and a plethora of other organizations like those, both in the US and outside, are probably doing their work, and I don't want to get involved. Last time I had to go down that low for something other than finding a kid was when a group tried to hack into a couple of people at Lockheed Martin, and Lockheed Martin cyber guys couldn't figure it out, so I traced it and figured it out.
Wow.
Once I figured it out, I was like, okay, and I called the company because I know who it was, and they weren't being malicious. They didn't really realize they were doing it. And I had to explain to them, okay, guys, you guys can't do this. You get there. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry. That's not what we're trying to do. We were trying to test this new transformer. I go, dude, there's better ways to transform than trying to hack into a Lockheed Martin group. And I go, especially when I work there and you guys know who I am. Okay.
Yeah.
Maltego.
Well, it's been a really amazing dialogue with you, and just eye-opening. I learned a lot. Wow. Just some great takeaways for sourcing for sure. Any parting shots?
No,
Any upcoming events that you can be on that people can catch you?
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, actually, it's funny you should say it. Steve and I do this. Steve Levy, for those of you who don't know, you should know who he is. If you're in recruiting, staffing, sourcing, you better know who Steve Levy is. Him and I do a once a month show, and we're doing it on the 29th, called Dean Steve's Excellent Sourcing Adventure. It's through the recruiting blogs tools people. Basically,
Recruiting Daily.
Yeah, them too.
Overarching.
There, we go on, we jibber jabber a little, and then we basically pretend we're Vanilla Ice and say, you got a problem, we'll solve it. So give us your problem, give us your purple squirrels, your pink squirrels, the things you are struggling to find, and we will help show you how to find them and give you access to them. I use my tool to start everything just because it's easier than starting from scratch. Sometimes I'll deviate out of it. Steve will come up with some things too, and we just kind of try to help people. And if nobody brings anything, I've got a list of what's supposed to be the top 100 hardest to fill jobs. I'll just go down the list. So we do it once a month to help people. So that's the next big thing. And then the end of January, both Levy and I are going to TA week. And then after that, there's a whole lot being floated around that I'm waiting for people to tell me the dates and if they want me, if they don't, if they want me and what's going on there. I'm supposed to be doing Talent 42 in June with Levy as well. And then RecFest will be in September. Those are the ones I know for a fact for now. I do know Recruiting Daily usually has another one in December, but I know I'll be involved with. Oh, and Dueling Sorcerers, Steve and I are involved with, I think, early December as well. So it'll be Steve and I.
Wonderful. That'll be great.
Well, a lot of things people don't realize is Dueling Sources was really started by me and the guy that works at M&T Bank that does all the IRL. He does the under
Greg
IRL.
Hawks.
Thank you. I can never remember his name lately.
He's going to be on tomorrow with me.
Oh, there you go. Well, Greg and I started the Dueling Sorcerers years and years ago, and then Stacy kind of got involved, and we kind of let her take it over because him and I just got too busy. And so she took it up. So a lot of people don't realize you can go on YouTube or whatever and look it up. And it was originally him and I. And then we fight once in a while. And then we just took off to other directions. So I know you got to go. We've been on for a while.
No, this was great. And shoot me the links to your Start Me page and your paid tools. And I'll put those in as a links to the description so people can access those. What a pleasure. That was mind-blowing, absolutely incredible. And you are an incredible human being. I love the knowledge share. I love what you do for the recruiting community, and just thanks for all you do. Keep it up.
I appreciate it.
It's been fun. You're a good friend, man.
Yeah,
Great
no
to have you
problem.
on, and
Thank you.
power to you. Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you.
Although it's a little bit late, I didn't
Yeah,
get a chance to tell you that, but thanks for your service, Mr. Dean. You're awesome.
I appreciate that. You have a good day. It's been great being on here.
Yeah, good to see you, man. All right. Don't leave yet.